Hi, Scorpio. Welcome to February. Look, have I been saying that this whole time? March? I don't think I have. Listen, we out of retrograde. We just in the shadow. Maybe time feels like it's standing still for you. Who knows? It's definitely March that I'm recording. It's February the 26th as I'm recording this. We have a full moon in Virgo tomorrow that starts the month of March. If you're new here, I'm Tamil. I'm the founder of Overflow, and every month I channel oracle messages for the Overflow community at large, which is you. Then we go deeper inside of the sanctuary, which is our private membership space for communion with self and soul family. Have some amazing things happening there, a monthly reading circle led by community members, as well as movement classes hosted by our resident wellness coach, Ashley Nelson. So really, really excited about that. And the way the sanctuary is shaping up into the sacred space that is intended to be. So if you're interested in that space, you got a lot going on. If you're interested in that space, you can sign up for the waiting list and be notified when the portal to join is open, which will be around Spring Equinox this month. So let me get this card that dropped. I'm not going to take all of these, but it makes sense. The way like you kind of feel all over the place, but in a good way, like in a way that you're trying to get reacquainted with like your playful energy, your innocence in some way is what it seems like you're seeking to be restored, your hope, your zest for life. And I think that's a little bit for all of us. I mean, as we're getting ready for spring, it's like, have we not done enough of the dark work? But a lot of us really haven't, though. So let's see what you got. The Outlaw, yes. As your strength. And Transmute and Get Wild at the bottom. So, let's see. It's really dark and cloudy today. So, like, I'm not getting that same vibrancy that I normally get. But it's so beautiful. Get Wild. Gemini got this card. Scorpio. So if you have any Gemini placements, you may want to watch that. And Transmute. There's a big message coming from you from this card, Scorpio. And it is about the fact that that is actually your role as an archetype. And for whatever reason, you're rebelling against that. And so while you can approach transmutation in your own way, you can incorporate different modalities. You still got to do it. So let's start reading. Because you already annoyed. Within you lies the ability to take dense energy and turn it into a lighter and higher vibration. You can do this in response to constricting situations, difficult relationships, or blockages within your internal landscape. Sometimes we do not need to consciously work at the issue, but simply have the intention of doing so. This card is an invitation to identifying that which needs to shift and creating a sacred container for what you want to transmute. So being intentional, like your whole life doesn't have to be dedicated to this dark and dense energy. And I think that's why you're kind of like rebelling, because you're tired of sitting in it. So create time for it and create boundaries around it. So let's read the animal medicine, which is the scarab. Like all beetles, the scarab goes through a metamorphosis, which is often associated with rebirth. However, The scarab's magic also lies in its egg-laying ritual. The scarab will take a piece of dung and roll it east to west, eventually laying eggs within the dung. After about a month, it rolls the dung into water to soften it, and the eggs can finally hatch. The scarab invites you to look at the world, even that which seems mundane and dung-like, as an opportunity for alchemy and rebirth. Things are shit. Whatever your shit is, new life is gonna come out of it. I promise. Spirit promises, not me. The outlaw is your strength. When you pull the outlaw card, it's time to go against the grain. It can be scary to do this. All humans at some point or another have received the message that conforming is necessary for survival. In fact, we are hardwired to be that way. Early on in human history, the individuals that were outcast from their tribe would not survive. That still lives within us, the fear that if we go against the pack, our survival will be threatened. But the outlaw gives us the courage to stand alone in stark contrast with that which is widely accepted or normalized. The outlaw pushes for progress within the collective. The outlaw is a good ally for when we are working on breaking free of limiting inherited patterns and beliefs. A balanced and healthy outlaw lives by their own personal compass. They are honorable and live with integrity, but it may not always be how others perceive right and wrong. For example, they won't say, stealing is bad no matter what. They'll ask, why is it being done? What is it for? And we know that's you, Scorpio, because you will blur the lines and you will be like, okay, well, what else is really going on here? You will make space for that darkness, that wrong. Unbalanced outlaw can isolate themselves, believing that they are entirely alone. This may also turn into destructive, whether internal or external tendencies. They may also identify too much with being different and in turn are always in opposition of others simply for the sake of being so. Balanced outlaw is confident and rebellious by nature, but they are not that way for the sake of being rebellious. In other words, they have a cause. The outlaw asks for a no fucks given attitude. In order to do great things in the world, we must not get caught up in how the herd views us. We must keep going forward with that which we believe in. Given that, consider examining what radical means to you. In what ways do you live within the boxes that society has given us, and in what ways do you want to go beyond them? So the transmuting that you're doing may be around what has been expected of you or what you expected from yourself, and finally coming to peace with it and taking what you learned from whatever turned to shit, right? And making a new life out of it. Let's get into your reading.